Assalamu alaikum dear students, hope you all are fine and taking my lecture in the best of your health. Well, our today's discussion as pending from our yesterday's lecture branches of stylistics is still on. So we are going to find out the other subfields of study in stylistics today and we'll try to compile this one topic by today. We have already discussed the linguistic stylistics that analyzes the language, features like phonology, syntax and semantics. We also called it non-literary stylistics yesterday. So the examples are the studying the use of alliteration in a poem, assonance, consonance or rhyming scheme which is given in some poem. Like sa sound in silent streams, swirl silver shallow. So it means silent streams swirl silver shadows. The sa sound is repeating 4 times or 5 times if we take it at the final point. There is always a reason of repeating some sound, And when I am rising my pitch, when I am bringing some change into my loudness, still it brings some difference. So why not the difference when we are using one word, one sound again and again? This repetition of sa sound, as I said in the line, silent streams swirl silver shadows. This repeated sound of sa is called as sibilance, mostly seen in most of the dialogues in Dr. Faustus. So if it is so, there is always some reason of it. As I said, if it is an evil sound, for sure it represents the evil nature of the speaker or the writer. Literary stylistics examines the literary devices and techniques, and we have analyzed the text of A Tale of Two Cities by yesterday. Examples for today could be analyzing the use of metaphor in the line as he was a shining light in a dark room. He was a shining light in a dark room. I'm not saying he is like a shining light. I'm saying he is or he was. So it means saying someone as the object itself is a metaphor. So the use of language where we are comparing one thing with the other without using like or as becomes a metaphor. We all know. By maturity, we know the different figurative use of language in our daily talks as well as in literary texts that is more prominent. When we are doing or we are using such kind of language, for sure we are emphasizing and we are categorizing it, the nature or some feature of some person. Like when I say, you are a shining star of my life, we also call twinkle, twinkle, little star in a lullaby. So when we are saying someone a star, who's that someone? It's a child. It's a child. For innocence, for the kickling he has, for the all happiness he is developing around us. So whenever we are saying or we are developing the words like metaphor, star, light, we are actually mean by it. Why the writers do it? Why the poets use it? Mostly the poets are more congruent to use metaphors and the similes in their concise form of a language for creating rhythm, for creating similarity, or for sure for saying someone the same as they like. So literary stylistics deals with the figurative use of language, with the tone, with the theme it applies in a text. By whom? By the author's intent, for sure. Why the writers are using it, why the authors are using it. The third main branch, that is a new one for you today, a slight discussion has already been made by me, is phonostylistics. What is phonostylistics? Phono itself says it's like a sound, something related to sound. So it means, as said earlier, it examines the sound patterns to create effects in the text through assonance, alliteration or consonance, which is a specialized feature of poetic genre. but also a distinctive feature in advertisement language in the form of parallelism. Why? The advertisers use it to create rhythm. They use it to memorize their slogan and to remember their audience that it is about their own object. So if it is so, definitely it is for the reason of creating rhythm. The fourth branch of our stylistic study is morphosyntactic stylistics, a combination of two linguistic branches. One was morpheme and the other is syntax. Why we are combining it? You may do it morphemic stylistics as well. You may break into like syntactic stylistics, but I have combined both of them because just to say morpheme as a pattern of study in stylistics would bring a little meaning in it. But when you combine the word and its pattern with its syntactic nature, it will give you the whole meaning of its effect in the given text. So it becomes morphosyntactic stylistics that explores the patterns of morphemes and grammatical features of the text. For example, repeating the same syntactic structures in slogans like, I'm just saying one slogan as an example, eat fresh, live fresh. The parallel structure of eat fresh and live fresh creates a rhythmic effect that develops the slogan more memorable and catchy, which carries the syntactic parallelism having verb and object. As I was saying earlier, that the parallelism is the use of the same structures in two clauses, in two sentences, or within the clauses in one sentence. So parallelism is one technique that is developed by the advertisers, more importantly to be used to memorize their slogans. Structural stylistics. Ferdinand de Saussure, for sure, fine. So over here it examines the signs, structures and symbols in the given text for the reason that what is the background, how the background of something is created. Foregrounding is important to study in this regard. It also implies that why the signs, why the slogans, why the symbols are created in some given text. And for here, I will definitely exemplify you the different advertisements in a pictorial form where not only the written form of the words are given in the form of information to the target audience, but also the pictures are given to memorize that what they want to convey to their target audience. So it means pictorial form would be the emphasized form of providing the text in or creating a text in a structured form, because sometimes we do not remember the words, but we remember pictures. So those pictures would become a structure in our mind, would develop a structure in our mind. Like Ferdinand de Saussure said, signs would develop some kind of thought in our mind, and that thought would create an object in our mind. So semiotic features are also included in structural stylistics to be explored. And we do the semiotic studies in structural stylistics as well. Functional stylistics, another branch of our stylistics, looks at language functions and context. A very, very interesting and practically implemented study. That when two persons are talking to each other, you may just write up the language of one person as person A and the other person as language as person B, and analyze the different forms of the sentences they are creating that shows off their relationship, that shows the context, and that shows for sure the formality, tone and mood of their language as well. So when you are studying the use of imperative mood in instructional text, like take 2 tablets every 4 hours, definitely I cannot say it, I can say start your lecture, start writing your lecture. I cannot say take 2 tablets every 4 hours. It does apply that you have to consider the function of this one sentence is to instruct you from medical point of view. So the function of the given one sentence would become important, that in which context it has been said and for which reason it has been said. That is a medical one. Where it is written, for sure, it is also important. So context with its mod and Tanner as applied by Halliday, all the things are important when you are analyzing the feature of some conversation. Another one important and very emerging branch of stylistics is corpus linguistics, or that is the sub area of that corpus linguistics becomes corpus stylistics. That means count down or expressing the language in terms of numbers. It uses the corpus analysis to study linguistic patterns. So it means you give one novel, one short story to the software you are using and explore the all features in numbers. That how many sentences are there, how many phrases are there, how many noun phrases are there, adjectival phrases or adverbial phrases are used in the given text. So that is the countdown of the syntactic, at the syntactic level of your corpus software. And all such softwares are available on internet for paid or definitely unpaid reasons, freely downloaded. The examples are analyzing the frequencies of words like home and house in different genres. That why somebody use the word home or the other one is using house, there is a difference. We know the home is something that is personal to you, that you belong, and that belongs to you both. And house is something rented, that is none of yours, it belongs to someone else. So the frequency of using the words in some text would be a part of your corpus stylistics, but remember, this is all done through the use of softwares available by different companies. One more important branch of stylistics is cognitive stylistics. Well, cognition relates your brain image with the study you are doing. So it explores how readers process and interpret the text. How am I interpreting some kind of news when I am getting some newspaper? As an analyst, definitely my point of view, my reason of reading it would be different. So to exploring the reader's process and interpretation process of some text is all about cognitive work of cognitive stylistics. It is analyzing how readers infer or interpret the character's emotions from the context of any novel or a drama. How do I take that one character is positive or negative or might be neutral in its construction from author's intent? So this is all about cognition. How do you take some text and perceive it for yourself? Another one is discourse stylistics. As I said, the last level of our stylistic analysis. Discourse stylistics examines language in social context, and the examples of it are the studying the doctor and patient interactions, as I just discussed, one line of conversation of this one whole conversation, focusing on power dynamics. For sure, the one who is powerful would empower the whole conversation. The 10th form of our stylistics is multimodal stylistics. Well, very, very interesting one on which most of the studies are being done by the learners. It analyzes the interactions between language and other modes. That means the pictorial modes or the other features which are present into the text. That means examining how images and text interact in advertisements. So mostly the media, language, the Facebook pages and all other social media apps may be explored through stylistic features to be explored. These branches overlap and stylisticians often combine approaches. So it means this is not at all that we can use only one branch for study. We do combine all of them to bring a good analysis as a stylistician. That's a small overview of the remaining branches of stylistics. For sure, their application would be there in your upcoming lectures. Well, thank you so much for your patience. We'll discuss the next upcoming lectures with a lot of more information. Till then, stay blessed, stay happy. you.